Have you ever finished reading something and thought, wait, what was the point of all that? Well, we're going to fix that today. We are going to turn you into a kind of reading detective. Seriously, you're about to get a new superpower that lets you find the real story, the hidden message in pretty much anything you read.
So, what do you say? You ready to become a reading super detective? Because this isn't going to be some boring old lecture. Nope. Think of it as a mission. And by the end, I promise you'll have the tools to crack the code of any story, any article, maybe even those confusing emails you get at work.
Okay, so here's your detective mission should you choose to accept it. We're going to find the most important part of any story. See, in anything you read, there's always one big idea that the whole thing is built around. Our job is to find it.
And our mission is actually pretty simple. We just need to learn how to spot two things, the main idea and then the supporting ideas that back it up. That's it. You master these two concepts and you'll start understanding everything you read on a completely different level.
So first things first, what in the world is a main idea? To really make this stick, we're going to use a delicious analogy. We're calling this the jollof rice idea.
Okay, so the main idea, what is it? It's simply the single most important point the writer is trying to get across. It's the big picture. You know, if you had to sum up an entire book or article in just one sentence, that's your main idea.
And here's where the jollof rice comes in. Just think of the main idea like the jollof rice at a big Nigerian party. It's the star of the show. It's the reason everyone showed up in the first place, right? Everything else on that table is just there to make the jollof shine.
But of course, a great meal isn't just one dish, is it? We gotta add some delicious sides. So what are supporting ideas? Well, if the jollof is our main idea, the supporting ideas are everything else that makes the plate amazing. In writing, supporting ideas are all the little details, the facts, the examples, the little stories that a writer uses to explain and, most importantly, prove their main point. They're the evidence. So yeah, they're like the delicious fried plantain and the grilled chicken next to the jollof. They make the whole meal incredible. You absolutely need them, but they're not the reason you came to the party. Their job is to make the main dish, the jollof, even better. So let's break it down one more time. The jollof is the main idea. It's the single core message. The plantain and chicken, those are the supporting ideas. They're the details that prove the message is true. One is the reason for the story, and the others are the proof within the story. You really need both to make a complete, convincing meal. Or argument. Okay, enough theory, enough about delicious food. Let's see how this works in the real world. We're going to look at a short story about a journey and put your new detective skills to the test.
So meet Chinedu. He's on a long car journey and he's thinking about a really important lesson he learned about road safety. Now, as we go through his story, your job is to keep your eyes and ears open for the jollof rice, the main idea, and all those delicious sides that support it.
And what do you know? The story basically hands us the jollof rice on a platter. It says, the single most important rule for surviving a long journey on Nigerian roads is practicing consistent road safety. Boom, right there. That's our main idea. Everything else in this story is going to be about proving that one sentence.
So how does the story prove it? Well, it serves up three delicious sides. First, it talks about why wearing helmets is so important. Second, it gives us examples of safe driving, like keeping a safe speed and not using your phone. And third, it reminds us about checking the vehicle itself, things like tires and brakes. Each one of these is a fact that backs up the main idea.
And check this out. One of those sides is a really powerful fact, 40%. That's the potential reduction in fatalities for motorcyclists just by wearing a helmet. See? A hard number like that is a perfect supporting detail. It makes that main idea about safety impossible to ignore.
All right, you've seen me do it. Now it's your turn. Time for you to be the detective. Let's solve this case together and see what you've learned.
Okay, question number 1. Looking back at Chinedu's story, what was the jollof rice? What was that single, big, important message? I'll give you a second to think about it.
If you said, the main idea is that practicing consistent road safety is the most important rule for a long journey, you nailed it. Absolutely correct. That was the core message holding the whole story together. Amazing work, detective.
Okay, you're not done yet. Next challenge. You found the jollof, but can you name the plantain and chicken? What were those three supporting ideas that proved the main point was true?
And the answers were
The need for helmets, the importance of safe speeds and no phones, and the necessity of checking the vehicle's condition. If you got those, congratulations, you've officially solved the case. You now know exactly how to spot the main idea and the details that support it.
And just like that, you've unlocked your new reading superpower. Seriously, this isn't just some trick for a class. This is a skill you can use every single day. When you're reading the news, going through work emails, whatever it is, you can use this.
And here's the most important thing to remember from all of this. Supporting ideas are never random. They absolutely have to relate back to and prove the main idea. Without them, the main idea is just, well, it's just an opinion. It's the evidence, the side dishes that make the whole thing believable.
So I'm leaving you with one last mission. What's the Jollof rice hiding in the very next thing you read? A book, a news article, a text message? What's the real story? You've got the tools now. Go find it.